We're looking forward to sharing our thoughts with you. And as we go through some slides and we start talking about our passion with IB, please at any time stop us, ask a question, share an insight. This should be very interactive. So we'll begin by introducing ourselves. My name is Dan Coast. I am the IB Diploma Program Coordinator at George Mason High School. I started teaching IB Biology in 1997, became an IB Diploma Coordinator in 2003, and I landed here in Falls Church City wonderfully, starting my fourth year here now. By the way, the diploma program was the first IB diploma program, I believe, in the state of Virginia. We got authorized in 1981 here in the city. And to answer that first question about how, as some people think, and I saw somebody back here nodding, that IB is just for the elite, or IB is not necessarily for all. And I think that manifests itself in the fact that we started with a diploma program, and it's been here since 1981, and not all students went into the IB diploma classes, and certainly not every student went for an IB diploma. And so with that backdrop, when we brought in other programs, the idea that IB was just for certain students, that has to be erased, redefined, because when you look at PYP and MYP, it truly is for all students, because all students are engaged as all teachers in those buildings are engaged. So having said that, let's move over to Carrie.
Do I just slide this over? Hello, my name is Carrie Cheka. My journey with IB began in 2009 when I became a founding teacher at a charter school in Los Angeles. I've actually been teaching for 19 years. I've been in education for 19 years, but my journey with IB began in 2009. There was a charter school that was opening, and its goal was to become an IB school. The whole charter was written around that, and the executive director had a vision of creating a continuum district, very similar to what we have. So I was the first IB coordinator at that school, and I took the school through candidacy. And then I moved into the role of an assistant principal and continued to be the IB coordinator at that school, and we gained authorization during that time. After that, I became the principal at that school and served in that capacity for 4 years, which really made me grateful that I got to see the perspective of being a PYP educator from the teacher perspective, the coordinator perspective, and then as the administrator to be able to provide the supports that are needed to run and develop the program. So that's just a little bit about me, and I will.
Authorized here in the city in 2012.
Yeah. I joined Falls Church last year. It's been my first year as a coordinator here.
Well, you have your own.
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Alicia Miller. I'm the IB MYP coordinator here. And we were authorized in 2017, so we are the newest IB program in Falls Church City. I started last year with Carrie, also 19 years in education, and my IB journey started actually in Germany. I had the opportunity to teach at an international school. So after 10 years teaching public school as an English language teacher for ESL students, I just took the plunge and went abroad and joined a pre-K to 12 full continuum IB school, where I continued to teach language acquisition for the MYP. I taught English B as our language group B for DP, and ran the English as a second language department there. And then that brought me to my second IB school, which was it was named Whitby School in Greenwich, Connecticut, PYP, MYP, and Montessori, where I pretty much did the same thing there, language development coordinator. And after that, I came here because I was looking for an MYP coordinator position, having worked with departments my entire career to support EL's understanding of different content area, and then having become connected with the IB through some other work that I do with the IB in terms of workshops and site visits. I felt like this was the next step, and I am thrilled to be here. I'm first and foremost thrilled to be back in public education, and just very excited to be in the school system and to have found, again, another full division, full continuum.
I'm actually going to follow up on that excitement issue. I serve as an IBMA president-elect, so that's Southern Pennsylvania, all the coordinators there, Delaware, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I go to a lot of meetings. I meet a lot of people, school board members, principals, coordinators. And the fact that we're a continuum here in the city is really unique. It is a great place to be. And to watch our kids come through an IB program over these coming years is going to be a phenomenal thing for this city and their students. So it's a great place to be here.
So in the primary years program, we oftentimes, well, most of the time, get parents whose first child is going through going to school. I dropped my kindergarten off today at her first day of school. And for many of us, it's the first time that we've been into a school or a classroom since we were in school ourselves. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your educational experience from elementary all the way through high school. And I want you to think about, what did it look like, what did it feel like, and what did it sound like from your perspective? So just think about it. Just take a little bit of time. And then turn to someone sitting next to you and share. What did it look like? What did it feel like? What did it sound like when you were in school?
We want to eavesdrop, too. Camera never goes off. Yeah, have somebody share out.
All right, so I'm going to call us back together. So who will be a risk taker and share out something that they experienced in their schooling?
I went to school in very rural Southern Virginia, where I was just saying to Shauna that our school, the school district I went to, was more of a not inspiring everyone to go to college. It was, this group of kids are probably going to be the go to college kids. You're probably maybe the military or something like that, or you're just going to graduate from high school and go to work and have family. Versus, if you want to go and work for it, you can go to college. It was kind of, there were kind of buckets that most
Like
folks
predetermined.
were going to fall into.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I mean, I would say generally the classroom was, you had a textbook, you did a chapter, you know, the teacher taught, following along with that book, and then at the end of that unit, you took an assessment, and then basically you moved on to the next unit, was sort of the way the school year flowed.
Yeah.
And just to elaborate on that, what Greg and I were talking about is, there wasn't any really articulated vision that you knew about. It was just like, do this, because this is what you need to do. But there wasn't any context for, so this is why, or this is what the program is designed to do. And so it was kind of just, the stuff came, you did it, and then you moved on to the next thing, so.
Yeah. Anyone from this side of the table?
It's so interesting and ironic because we shared the same things. Very traditional, a lot of sit and get, a lot of I teach, you learn, this is what we do. But also we talked about tracking in that It was very homogeneous with certain students who were kind of classified in groups that you'll go to college, and so we'll prepare you to go to college. And this group here, you're, like you said, maybe going to the military or somewhere else. But a lot of similarities with what you all shared as well.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we felt it was important to do this exercise to kind of give you like a starting point of your own experiences. So as we go along and start describing the IB programs, you can make some connections and you can really look at how things have shifted and things have changed throughout the years and what's different about this program than maybe what we remember when we were in school. Thank you for engaging with me.
I'm just going to add to that,
Sure.
just to say that as you're thinking about this, also consider you're, as board members, representing the community, right? And the community comes to us with their experiences that are maybe not as dissimilar to yours as you might think. And so as a consequence of that, as we talk about shifting culture and changing the way we do things, part of the responsibility that we have, I think, from a governance perspective, is to share that sometimes there are different ways to do things that might be better. So.
Thank you. So another exercise. So what do you feel, just from what you know about IB, are the aims of an international baccalaureate education? Just take a second and just jot down, when you hear international baccalaureate education, what do you think of? All right, looking for those risk takers again. Who will just share out, just
Critical thinking.
critical thinking.
Ability for them to make connections between the concepts and real world across disciplines.
Making connections. Real-
Inquiry-based learning, project-oriented.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, anyone else?
I think of it as being more about how to think about thinking rather than what to think, what to know.
Yes. Very knowledgeable.
I'd say based on those answers, we're done here tonight. Thank you for.
All
So,
right.
so please indulge us. We have from the IB marketing department, a little 7-minute video, try to give you so much of what you guys just said is going to be resonated here and maybe just a little more. I'm not sure how to make that go. With sound.
And so that's the learner profile. I'll just narrate it.
Let's have Marie narrate.
Open-minded. That's okay. We can skip it.
We can skip it
We can
then.
skip it.
No,
That's okay. We can send it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. Let's just move.
Yeah.
We can move on.
John, you can go ahead and turn that off and we'll move
Turn it off.
forward.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can we airplay it?
Oh, I just heard it. Oh.